Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you're all doing well and having a great day. Welcome back for another weekend edition of this channel where I go a bit more in depth on coins and projects that I believe in or simply want to talk about to tell you guys about and exactly what I think about them. Today we will be going over EOS or EOS depending on how you want to pronounce it. I believe EOS was the way that I first heard it when it was first announced. Talking about the future of the coin, where I think it is going to go, why I think it is going to go that way, and we're going to go into exactly what's happening with the project. For those who do not know, I am not a professional financial advisor in any way. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. These are my opinions. Anything that I say, please double or triple check it, fact check it, see exactly what I am talking about, and make sure to do your own research on the project that I am talking about on that particular day. Now that that is out of the way, we are going to move forward. If you go into the website etherscan.io, they actually have a list of the top 100 token holders for EOS. And I think this is actually really important and really cool to be able to see exactly who owns these many coins, especially for the top Bitcoin holders, EOS holders, because in Bitcoin, we know that a large portion of the tokens are held by a small number of people. I believe this largest account is held by an actual crypto exchange. This one is for the EOS crowd sale, and then it only gets smaller from there. Even though a lot of people still have a large number of EOS tokens, because there are in total, there will be 1 billion EOS, and the total supply at the moment is 900 million, and circulating supply is 780 million that are floating around. This has actually been going on, or rather, the entire EOS project is still under ICO mode, depending on what time you are watching this. And it has been going on for an entire year, which is the longest ICO project that we have had to date. So starting off, EOS is a blockchain-based decentralized operating system designed to support commercial scale decentralized applications by providing all of the necessary core functionality, enabling businesses to build blockchain applications in a way similar to web-based applications. EOS's asynchronous communication and parallel processing provides scalability, while its ownership model eliminates transaction fees. This is going to be very, very important. These features make EOS a serious competitor of Ethereum. People call it the Ethereum killer. Not exactly sure how that came up. EOS uses delegated proof of stake and introduces the ability to fix bugs and rollback changes with supermajority consensus. The project is headed by blockchain VIPs. 20% of EOS token supply were sold for about $185 million in Ethereum over the first 5 days of a 341-day-long token sale, which is still going on, I believe. So this is going to be very, very interesting as we go forward and we talk more about this, because there's a couple of things that I've mentioned that are going to be very significant for this entire project. EOS has been developed to function primarily as a settlement layer. What that means is that unlike cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, who were created to function as digital cash that can be easily transacted with, EOS was created as a network that will act as a foundation to build decentralized applications for commercial use. So usually this is shortened, decentralized applications usually shortened to dApps, and this is the major thing that is happening in the cryptocurrency world right now. We know as a people or as humans, we all have smartphones. The majority of us have smartphones, and we all use apps on our phones. So the idea is the first one or first company or first project that creates a dApp, a decentralized application that takes over the entire world and therefore brings crypto even further into the mainstream, this will be the project that ends up making it, and that will be worth the most. Other coins like Lisk and Ethereum have been developed for similar purposes. This is one of the main things that Ethereum is being used for right now between smart contracts and the dApps. The innovative edges that EOS brings to the table are that EOS has no transaction fees and can process thousands of transactions per second, according to the EOS white paper. This is because the network's use of horizontal scalability. Having no fees is probably the most worthy thing about this project. There are obviously tons of other things. I was listening to a podcast a day or two ago about the EOS project. There was these, I can't remember what it was called. It was like ICO in review or something like that. I'm sure you'll be able to find that. It was one of the few EOS podcasts that was like floating around, and there was a part 1 and 2 to make it easier to be able to find. And one of the guys on the podcast was pretty much saying, he said, if I am trying to build an app or something on top of any other network, especially he said the Bitcoin network, and I'm trying to get my mother to use this new application and she's trying to send me a photo of her cat. As she's trying to send the photo, can you imagine something popping up saying, okay, pay the network fee for you to send this transaction through the network to show the photo to your son? She would look at it and go, why should I possibly have to use this? The fact that there are no transaction fees, this is not the only coin that has no transaction fees, but we're talking about EOS right now, so this is why it's significant. This is going to be very big going forward, especially as adoption continues, because people will eventually get tired of paying any type of fees when we get to a point in cryptocurrencies and in the real world where there are little to no transaction fees that are happening. No one's going to want to pay $1 for any type of transaction. And as far as scalability goes, when you look around online, I find many, many different numbers. The number that I see constantly and continuously at the very beginning is that EOS is currently able to handle between 5 to 10,000 transactions per second, and this will only increase as time goes on. You can look around a bit more, and it says that eventually EOS will be able to do 1 million transactions per second, which is kind of insane. This is exactly what Ethereum is going for. This is what Omise Go, another one of my favorite projects, is also going for. This is going to be very significant in the future. Even when you have or are capable of doing 1,000 transactions per second, you are still on the same exact level as Visa and MasterCard, which is what about 2 years ago, what every single coin wanted. This was the big. So this scalability now going up to millions of transactions per second is the thing that we have now. But 2 or 3 years ago, if you could do 1,000 transactions per second on your project, that was huge because you were then able to contend with Visa and MasterCard. And this is what everyone or every single project is pretty much trying to knock out of the ballpark. But if you are able to perform 1 million transactions per second, that is absolutely insane because it comes down to around, I think, 3.6 billion transactions per hour. That's literally half the population of the planet buying something or doing something online at that exact same time. That would literally mean everyone would need to be online at the exact same time. So usually when they throw out the number somewhere around 1 million, this is usually just them kind of flexing their muscles to say exactly how quick or how fast their thing can be. But should these projects be around in the next 300-400 years, they will then still be viable because of the speed of their network. Moving on, we're going to go on to partnerships with EOS. So like I said, EOS to date still has not launched, but they're moving forward in a very smart way, I want to say, with who they kind of partner up with. And it's always interesting to note there are a lot of other coins, a lot of people on the channel, on people in the comment section. I hear what you're saying. A lot of people want me to promote coins or look at other coins or make videos about other coins. And usually these coins have been out for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and they have no partnerships. Their website doesn't say what they're doing, what they're working towards, what the point of the coin and or the blockchain is. So this is why, even after you guys asking me, I apologize 1,000 times. I can't review certain coins because the coins usually have no use. The blockchain has no use. There's no point in going over it. So Block One, who are the creators of the Eos.ico blockchain, an open source platform designed to support decentralized autonomous communities, also DAX, and follow for mainstream adoption of blockchain technology, and Bancor, creators of the Bancor protocol, standard for automatically convertible smart tokens, today announced that the Bancor protocol will be implemented on the Eos.io, scheduled for release sometime in June 2018. We'll get more into that in a bit later. The Bancor protocol enables users to easily convert between tokens. This is something that we've also spoken about before. This is incredibly important as we move forward. It's about scalability and being able to do things that other projects simply cannot do. There's also a partnership between EOS and I believe FinLab. Yeah, .ag, FinLab.ag, a leading fintech investment company in Europe, and Block One, the people who developed. EOS announced that they have partnered for a $100 million joint venture that will make strategic investments all over Europe in projects that utilize the EOS.io blockchain software. According to the duo, FinLab AG will manage $100 million fund. Block One has also made an initial commitment to fund $1 billion in partnership with leading venture capital investors to aid the development of the EOS.io software platform. To date, if I am not mistaken, I believe EOS is the most funded ICO I think they have raised over the last year, because this has been going on for 300 something days so far, and it ends around June. I think they have already managed to acquire $2.5 billion for their ICO. A lot of people are saying, why do you need so much money for this ICO, especially when another number of other cryptocurrency projects have gotten started for just a couple $1 million. It appears that they are going to be using this money to reach as far as possible around the world and to get any major players that they can in order to develop things on top of the EOS platform. I think to date, once this does launch, the plan is to have, I think, over a couple thousand decentralized apps running on EOS immediately. And this is something also that we're going to get into a bit later, because it kind of pushes into the price of the coin. This is probably the most important, at least to me, partnership that they have kind of gotten together. Block One, the developer behind the leading blockchain software, once again, EOS.io, and Galaxy Digital LP, or Galaxy Digital, a full-service digital assets merchant bank, today announced the formation and capitalization of a joint venture that is focused on developing the EOS.io ecosystem and making strategic investments in projects that utilize EOS.io blockchain software. As part of the new relationship, Block One and Galaxy Digital will deploy capital for future investments through the capitalization of a new $325 million EOS, that threw me off the million at the end, EOS.io ecosystem fund called The Fund. This is incredibly important for a number of reasons. For those who do not know Mike Novogratz, if you are new to the channel or new to anything in cryptocurrencies, this is Mike Novogratz. Does he look familiar? Well, he should, because he's in the news just as much as Coinbase at this point. He is one of the first investors in Ethereum. If you watched his stuff on the news or anytime that he's spoken about cryptocurrencies, he is a huge proponent of cryptocurrencies. He loves it. He always talks about it every time he goes on the news. Yeah, his big bet on Bitcoin, etc. He loves talking about cryptocurrencies. His major thing is that he got into Ethereum when it first started. The story goes, I was not there in the room, so I don't know if this is exactly how it happens, but he says people were talking about Bitcoin. He wanted to get into it, and he heard that someone was developing a new project called Ethereum, and he's like, wow, that sounds interesting. That's a really cool name. He apparently went to the office, I believe, which was in Brooklyn at the time. Went inside. He said he was expecting this gigantic, huge glass and stone room with a whole bunch of, hundreds of workers. And he said he went inside. There were only about 12 people working on the Ethereum project. He said, please explain this to me. Explain exactly what you're doing. I want to know exactly what's going on with this project. They explained it to him. And he said, when they were done talking, he took out his checkbook and said, how much money can I give you to fund this project? They said, we don't really need any money to fund the project, but if you would like to, you can definitely buy some Ethereum off of us. He said, okay, that sounds great, and wrote a check that we do not know the exact amount for, of several $1 million. This is significant because he got into Ethereum when it was $1 a coin. So he himself, obviously, he stands to profit a great amount from Ethereum, but he has stated multiple times the exact way that he feels about Ethereum. He feels this same exact way about EOS, and this is why he has jumped into it and has thrown literally hundreds of millions of dollars into it. Keep in mind, he got into Ethereum when it was $1. EOS is currently $5.92. This is not me telling you to buy the coin, but pay attention to the signs of what's going on. It was $18.16 before the project even launched. So it is definitely low right now, and this is where I think profit is to be made. He is constantly in the news talking about projects, but he usually only focuses around Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now he's been slowly talking about EOS on the news and how much he likes the project and how much he is getting into it. So pay attention. Next up, a really big thing that's happening right now, especially with all the regulations that are going around, has been the discussion about decentralized exchanges, simply because a lot of the regulations that we do have, regulators have realized that they cannot, at least for the most part, directly reach into your pocket or go into your house and, take your computer from you. They can't do this to every single person who is using cryptocurrency. So the way that they've been trying to deal with this is that they've been regulating the exchanges. What is coming in the future especially I assume the next 2 to 5 years, we'll see a huge burst of them start to explode, are decentralized exchanges that are run by no one. They're run by the network the same exact way that Bitcoin and Ethereum, the entire network is based on consensus, and this is how everything kind of works. This is going to happen more and more. There are a few decentralized exchanges that we have now, but this one is going to be on the EOS platform. Yeah, so it says crypto exchanges provide us a systematic way to purchase crypto. However, they defeat the decentralized philosophy, as the centralized exchange takes power away from the user by asking for fees and inflating prices. This we've seen in South Korea. There were a lot of crypto exchanges who were, when Bitcoin was 14,000, it was almost 19,000 already in South Korea. There's a lot of places that have incredibly inflated prices. They inflate the price for their own, what have you. And especially there are a lot of places that charge fees that are like 10 times as much as the network fee, which is kind of insane. To ensure that we truly move to a decentralized solution, Bitfinex is building Eos Finex, the first decentralized exchange built on the Eos.io platform. The announcement was made through the Bitfinex Medium blog. The announcement doesn't come as a surprise, as they hold a strong position in the exchange field. They're currently ranked 5th regarding trading volume, according to Coin Market Cap. Eos Finex will be built entirely on the Eos platform, which will ensure high scalability, speed, and security. This also means a decentralized exchange which is capable of doing thousands of transactions per second. It will also help building a trustless environment where you don't have to worry about inflated prices or fees. Once again, this is why it comes up, because there are a couple of other exchanges right now that have had a few problems. I'm not exactly sure if it resolved around fees, but it usually revolves around speed. You need to be able to do tens of thousands of transactions per second to be able to handle the people who are already in the crypto sphere. Now imagine if this is the year that is projected that trillions of dollars will start flowing into the cryptocurrency market. If you cannot hold in your hand already what's going on, how are you going to handle when a boulder, slams in your lap? This is why this is also very significant, but this is also why I think this is very strong for the future of EOS as a whole, because the more things that are built on top of a project or a coin or a blockchain, this also raises the value of the blockchain. It's kind of like when the internet first got started, it was relatively worthless because no one was using it. If 4 people are using it, it raises in value. But when you have billions of people that are on this network and building things on top of it, this is why the internet is now so valuable and everybody wants a piece of it. Depending on where you look around, this is not against Dash, by the way. This is just one of the main topics that I'm going to bring up. When you look around online for any news about EOS, you'll always find articles like this. Which one is better? Which one is so-and-so? This was made around March 10th. This was made around the time when I think regulations where we started first hearing about which regulations would be coming forward. There's a huge thing going on right now with regulations and with privacy coins. A lot of the privacy coins are being delisted from cryptocurrency exchanges. So this is why I think in the long run, it's kind of a two-sided coin. It depends on which one you want. If you are in this game specifically for the tech and or private transactions, Dash or Monero or Zcash are probably exactly the coins that you want to go for. If you want to follow not so much regulations, but if you are in it more for profit, it is important to look for coins like EOS, because I do not think a lot of the privacy coins will be able to make it over the next couple of years or be as strong as they will definitely be around in some capacity. People will continue to use them, but definitely keep your eye open for projects that are, like I've said it before, the ones that are kind of down with regulation or who are not afraid to be regulated, because this is going to be significantly important as we move forward in the crypto game. So at the moment, it appears that June 3rd will be the date that this will officially launch. I don't think we had a date before. I think June 1st is the official last date of the ICO, and June 3rd is the date when the EOS blockchain goes live. When this happens, expect a huge price bump for those who have not been into stocks or anything else before. Every time a company, or in this case, a coin launches, there's a huge amount of hype and everyone dumps into the market. Look back at past graphs or charts if you can and see a time frame. Usually after a day or two, once everyone has dumped into the market, people begin to quickly take their money out because the hype isn't sustainable for the very beginning of it. I firmly believe around the 4th or 5th or 6th of June, we will hit a high and then the market will begin to go back down. So this may be the point where you want to take your money out of EOS, but don't fret, because normally what happens is as the market goes back down, you can take all your money and swap it into Bitcoin or whatever. And then a couple days later, push your money back into EOS when the price has gone even lower. This will allow you to make a lot more profit. A lot of people don't know that when something launches, the price goes up and then they wonder why the price is going down, is because nothing can sustain hype forever. So this is kind of what's going on. It appears that EOS is on schedule and will launch in June. I am extremely excited for this to finally happen, especially because it's taken an entire year and they've been doing so many things with the project about what's been going on. And I think they just released another upgrade to the network as well. So it appears that everything is on schedule and I'm extremely excited for this. Now, the part that a lot of you have probably been waiting for, it's about the price predictions for the future of EOS. Depending on where you look around, some of the information can seem correct. I believe a lot of it is very incorrect. Like I said, before the project even launched, this was still in January. I know this was the time when we had all-time highs and everything was kind of spiking up. This is still $18.16 half a year before the coin actually launched. What do you think is logically going to happen by the time the price the coin actually launches to the price? I don't think many people would be afraid of the extra $1.84 to push it up to $20. So I don't think realistically that a 1 year forecast of $28 is too realistic for the coin. I think we're going to, especially not for a 5 year forecast of $98, specifically for a number of reasons. This is one I think is more realistic, and I'll tell you why in the next tab. Current price is around $5, almost $6, give or take. This isn't out of the realm of possibility. A lot of people get very afraid when they see coins that have a billion or more than a billion coins on top of the project, and they say there is no way this coin can ever get that high. There's no way this can ever happen. I also believe this is definitely going to be a possibility if EOS can do everything that it says, or even half of what it says. We know really more or less they should be able to build applications on top of it. We know that they are capable of around 10 to 15, 20,000 transactions per second. If they can realistically get to 1 million transactions per second without off-chain scaling, this is going to be very, very significant, because a lot of things may then move away from Ethereum and other projects and start to be built on top of EOS, which is something that we've already been seeing over the last couple of weeks. A lot of projects have been saying that they are planning on building on top of EOS instead. That is not to say that Ethereum will not be able to make use of Plasma, but we've been waiting for a while for Plasma. So when you have another coin that says we can do this already, and they raise their hand and say we've already got it, this is where the money will start to flow. And if they can definitely keep up with it, I without a doubt think that these coins are a lot more accurate for exactly what's going to happen sometime this year. This is the current market right now. I believe this one is, yeah. I could have just gone to the first tab. I don't know why in the world I did that. So at the moment, we have a price of $5.91 and a market cap of $4 billion. It is not out of the realm of possibility that this would be able to hit $40 billion as market cap if they can do everything that they say, which would then give us a coin price of $59.10, almost $60 per coin. If you double that to 80 billion, that is a $100 EOS token. That is not out of the realm of possibility, especially from where we were before. This would be a little bit more than double than where this is and a little bit lower than where this is, but we have still lost 75% of where we were because of all the market dips, depending on when you may be watching this this video. I was just watching a movie, sorry about that. So when I see price predictions talking about that this coin will maybe hit $19 or $25 by the time it launches, I think that's completely false, especially because what's been happening over the last couple of weeks is that a lot of companies and corporations have stopped any announcement that they had about any partnerships that have been going on between them and other coins, because all the prices have completely gone down. Once the prices start to go back up, this is when we will start getting announcements once again of everything that's been going on. And over the next 2 months, should the market pick back up and this hits around $15, give or take, when the coin finally launches, it's not going to go up to $19 and then pretty much sit there. People are going to start buying this as much as possible. And I don't think even $100 billion by the end of this year is unbelievable, especially if trillions of dollars start flowing into the market. EOS hasn't even launched, and it's the number 6 coin. Pay attention to what's happening. If this was number like 29 or something like that, I would go, okay, I get it. You know, maybe it won't be as high as other coins, but this is a very, very popular project. A lot of devs and other community members have been looking into it. Like I told you before in other videos, a lot of people think I'm spreading FUD or whatever the case might be for other projects. But when you have about 15 devs who come forward and they talk negatively about one project, it's usually because something's wrong with the project. People who work on Bitcoin don't work exclusively on Bitcoin. People who work on Ethereum don't work exclusively on Ethereum. A lot of the people who are developing these coins work on about 4 or 5 coins at the exact same time. This is what most people don't know. So odds are there are tons of other people who are working in the top coins who also have their foot in the EOS pool. So they know exactly what's going on. This is why I said, when you are looking for what to invest in or what to put your money in, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies, do not just look for the positives. Make sure you also Google for the negatives as well. It is very difficult to find any type of negativity when it comes to EOS, because a lot of people have been looking into the project and people look through the code. I believe their code is also available for the public to see, so they're not hiding anything in that way at least. So other people have had a chance for a couple of months now to look into exactly what they've been saying. They had the chance to look into their white paper and see exactly what's going on. And as of now, so far, there hasn't been much negativity or really any negativity. I think someone said that they plagiarized part of their white paper, but we've heard this for a lot of other things, especially when people can't really prove it, I guess. So yeah, when you're looking into something, like I said, I'm not a professional financial advisor. Make sure to always look into something yourself. But I think that the future of this project is extremely bright for a number of reasons. The ones that I've listed, and I could have made this video about 9 times long. There's so much positive news for this project, and I think that the price is extremely low. Around this time, more or less last year, January, maybe a couple months back, 2017, the price of Ethereum was $8 a coin, and then eventually shot up to around $400 and then $800, and I believe it hit $1,200 a coin. Now, if this launches and can do everything that it says that it can do, and they hit even 100,000 transactions per second, and other projects begin to move on to EOS, I think potentially this is why I think this is probably the most accurate number by the end of this year. Do the calculations for yourself, see exactly where the market has been before, what is expected to be this year, how high it can go. I think without a doubt, $200 to $300, safely say $100. But I think $200 to $300 per EOS token is going to be very, 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 very possible. Sorry for all the varies. All right, everyone. I believe that is going to do it for this video. Yeah, I was going to say, tell me if you want any of the articles in the description below, but there's like 38 things here. And by the time I have uploaded this video, I'm pretty sure this window will be closed, so it's not slowing down my computer anymore. Maybe just rewind back a bit and write down the address up here. I apologize for that. There's just way too many tabs to be able to put in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked the video. Tell me what you think about EOS in the description below. If you have any EOS, I know there are a lot of people who have I've been listening to a lot of things and reading a lot of things on different websites and forums about people who own EOS and what they think about it. There are a lot of people who got in very early around the time when it hit around 50 cents, and they have like 30, 40,000 EOS, which is absolutely insane. So they're definitely going to find a way to profit over the next couple of months. But yeah, once again, I hope you guys have a great day wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for all the support. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.